Hey all, it's Dana. For today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make pork cutlets and gravy. If you go to the store and look for pork cutlets, some stores call it that and some stores call it pork cube steak. So you can look for either one of them. But for the recipe, we have 2¼ cups of beef broth, and I use the 33% less, and the chicken broth combined, so basically 1 1/8 cups of each. I've got 6 tablespoons of flour, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, 2 cloves of minced garlic, and 1 onion chopped up. We've got, of course, our pork cutlets, and then I'm going to use some olive oil to brown this in. And I like to add a little bit of dash of cayenne pepper to that, so we'll start getting these going here. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and mix the dry ingredients together. So I've got my salt and pepper and the flour. Put them in a Ziploc bag. I am going to take a dash of this cayenne pepper and put that in my flour. It's literally like, oof, all you need right there. Just that little dash. Put that in here. Salt. And my pepper. I'm going to give this a good shake and mix it up. Because we're going to coat the meat with this before we start to brown it. Alright. So next thing I want to do is go ahead and get some oil in my pan and get that warming up. So let's see. If you hear all the noise in the background, of course, this is Nana, and it's, let me get my phone set up. And that's the grandkids you hear in the background. Which is why I make these videos for my kids and my grandkids. So one day when they want to have this recipe, then they'll have the recipe. So I'm going to use probably a couple tablespoons of olive oil. 1, 2. This is kind of a big skillet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm going to do another tablespoon.
11, 12,
About 3 tablespoons of olive oil in the skillet.
15, 16, 17, 18.
Uh-oh, sounds like someone's playing hide and seek in there. I'm going to put this on medium. And I'm going to let that get warm. Now I'm going to go ahead and start getting the meat and the flour. Good. Alright, a couple more pieces. I have about 2 pounds of meat here, so you're going to want to use about 2 pounds of meat for this recipe. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this floured up, and I'll be back with you in just a few minutes. So if I can get my phone on pause here. Alright, I got the rest of the meat all floured up. Don't throw the rest of this away because you're going to want to use that to thicken up your gravy. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my skillet. Get this all good and browned up. Depending on the size of the skillet you use, you may need to use more or less oil. I might add a little bit more to this one. Let's see.
Good.
There we go.
Candle or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little more dab of this.
Salt, sweet, nuts, and sit down, buddy.
Okay. I'm gonna get this good and browned on one side, and then after it's done brown on the one side, we're gonna flip it over. So it's gonna take a few minutes. I'll kind of guesstimate, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, well this is cooking away. It's doing pretty good. It's been a few minutes. Let's check them. Starting to get some brown on them. I've got this on about a medium-high heat. I use a gas stove. Of course, my kids know that. If anybody watches this video, I think I said this already, but I make these videos for my kids and my grandkids. So if anyone else watches this and doesn't like what you see, sorry. This is just me cooking for my family. Making these videos for them, but I'm happy to share with anybody else that wants to watch it. And these turned out really, really delicious too. So, if you like pork, then you're going to love this. I'm going to go ahead and flip these over now. It's a pretty easy recipe. Once you brown your meat, we're going to transfer it to another plate. Kids, make sure you get a clean plate too. Hello, different plate than what I had the raw meat on. You don't want to transfer the cooked or browned meat back onto that plate that had the raw meat on it. I mean, these aren't going to be all the way cooked, but still. Alright, those look delicious. So I'm going to let them brown on that side for a few minutes, and we'll be back. Alright, these things are getting browned. Looking pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and start transferring these onto my clean plate. And then once I get that done, I'm going to come back, and we're going to actually saute the onions next in the same pan. And I'll be right back. Alright, I got the meat out of the skillet, so I'm going to add a little bit more of olive oil to this. Just a little, not a lot. And we're going to get the onions sauteing. You don't have to clean the pan or anything like that after you take the meat out. Just throw your onions in there. I'm not sure how long it takes to saute onions. A few minutes at least. I mean, not a long time. You want to just saute them until they're translucent. So I'm going to let them sit there. I wouldn't walk away from your skillet when you're doing this. I'll let this visit for just a listen. I'm listening to Papa over there, and I'm talking what he's talking. So I'm gonna let these saute for just a few minutes. Make sure to just keep kind of stirring them up. All right, my onions are sauteing still. Now I'm gonna add my garlic to this. And you want to make sure you keep stirring because you don't want your garlic to burn. That's a bad thing. You can let it sit for a little bit, but burnt garlic is not good. After this sautés for just another minute, then I'm going to add in the rest of that flour from the bag. And then we'll start adding in the chicken and the beef broth that I have in this cup here. There we go. We're going to add that in there. Alright, so I'm going to shake in the rest of this flour. There we go. I like to use my little whisker for this. Oh, bless you, Papa. Add a little bit of my broth. If I haven't gotten you guys one of these, I'm pretty sure one of my kids I've gotten you one of these little whiskey things that I don't usually, most people have seen one of these, know where it comes from. I don't know if I can make a plug or not, but the company that I bought it from starts with a P. I'm going to turn my heat up a little bit just to get this good and hot. And then we're going to put the meat back in there. There we go. Looking pretty good. So to that, we're going to add the meat. Yeah, that's starting to get hot now. Give that just another minute. I can tell you, if you haven't ever had this before, it is just delicious. So we're going to put the, of course, Pawpaw and grandkids love it. Kids love it. Right, now it's got good and bubbly. I'm going to get my meat back in here. And then I'm going to turn this down. And I'm just going to simmer this on low for 20 minutes. Alright. Meat's in. Turn my flame down. I'm going to cover this up. And we'll be back in about 20 minutes. For my kids, I figured I'd show you, like, I've got this on my stove on 3, but see how low the flame is? And one of my kids I know has electric, so I'm not sure what you'd put it on electric. But anyway, we got the meat simmering in there. Just simmer it slow, and I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. Well, it's looking pretty good. We got about 5 minutes left. A little shake. If you're curious, no, I have not. I did open the lid just so you can get a little better view, but normally I just leave the lid on. I don't flip them or anything. Once it's low, cooking it low, then you don't have to worry about it usually sticking or burning or anything like that. So, no, I have not flipped them, and I only got about 4 minutes left. Alright, time's up. Here we go. We're done. Get that. Go ahead and turn this off. We got some babies in the background. So these are done. We're going to serve them with whatever you want. We like to have them with mashed potatoes and gravy. And some whatever vegetable you want. some of that delicious gravy from the bottom. If you want on your potatoes, that's fine. There you go. You got Nana's pork cutlets and gravy. All right, you guys know. Go get cooking.